Attention readers, world-renowned author Jordan Wells has a special offer for you. From his debut novel, The Ring Pack, to his fourth book, A Lonely Rose. In addition to Wells' poetic collection, Jordan Wells has the book for you. How do you get the book? Easy. Go to the top line of the description box and go get the book right now. The top line of the description box and click the link.
Man, we both been paying attention to this because obviously we big football fans, and we seen what happened to Brian Flores out in Miami, and we were all looking for him to get another job because I think it was about 8 or 9 vacancies, and obviously given his pedigree, 2 seasons, 2 winning records with a franchise that weren't really doing much, hasn't really done much in the last couple of decades, he was going to get a job, and he didn't. Well, come to find out that Brian Flores is, what is he doing? He is suing the NFL and 3 NFL franchises. That'll be the Miami Dolphins, the New York Giants, and the Denver Broncos. Now, he was on ESPN's Get Up Today talking to Mike Greenberg, and he was very, very adamant, along with his lawyers, about some very terrible things that were going on. 2 things in particular I want to talk about now, oh God. One of them being the owner of the Miami Dolphins in 2019 encouraging Brian Flores, to throw games. And for every game he threw to get better draft position, he would get $100,000. Something that we were talking about yesterday, in particular to the Super Bowl, because we all hear the rumors about him, the NFL being fixed and things like that. Well, this ended up coming about. We're going to talk about that. And also a text message with him and Bill Belichick that Bill Belichick accidentally sent to him, thinking that he was talking to Brian Dable, the new Giants head coach, where he congratulated Brian Flores early, gave him his flowers, said, no, I know that you may have the wada, but you got the job. Brian Flores said, wait, are you talking about me or Brian Dable? He said, damn, Brian, I'm sorry, I meant Dable. Days before the interview with the Giants. Without doubt, confirming every negative thing we hear and everything we see going on as far as there being an agenda to keep black coaches and owners out of the NFL. Oh, God, what is your thoughts on this situation?
Man, I'm excited. I'm happy that he stood up and actually, said something, because it's been the elephant in the room, pretty much, since, I ain't gonna say the exception of the NFL, but when blacks started really dominating the NFL. And, now you got people that's retiring. You got people that's good at football. Now they're going to be coaches and, assistant coaches. And you expect people to continue to move up that ladder. But when you see the NFL, like I said, it's the elephant in the room. This is something that we all know. We all been talking about. We all been seeing with our own eyes. But nobody had the nuts. Nobody had the balls, the testicular fortitude to step up and put their foot down and say, yo, nah, I might not get a job no more.
Yeah, he's done.
He's almost like doing what Colin Kaepernick did. Like, I'm done, but this is what's going on. Like, I'm standing up. You know what I mean? And, we ain't got to get too deep into all the lawsuit and everything. We'll let the lawyers and stuff and then deal with stuff like that. But this is giving it to y'all 100% raw. We knew this. We seen this. I seen this. I'm an Eagles fan, so I seen the same thing happen with Deuce Staley. And not just Deuce Staley, Eric Bieniemy, my man out there, Todd Bowles, Leslie Frazier,
Byron Leftwich.
Yeah, Byron Leftwich. We can go all the way down the line of, super overqualified black coaches that should have coaching jobs. Head coaching jobs, I should say, in the NFL. And not to mention ownership, GMs, things like that, owners. It's a whole... But then you look, every industry. Show me an industry where we're in, and we're at the top and not at the bottom. Or we're in, like hip-hop. It's a majority of us in hip-hop. It's a majority of us in the NFL. We ain't at the top positions like that. And that's always, all right, you got your Rick Ross, he got Maybach, but he's under Atlantic. Jay-Z, Def Jam, this, and this. Nobody's just sitting up top like that. Like, okay, we own this. Where's the black distribution company? Where is, anything that's going to be of ownership? Because other races of people got that. I mean, hell, you got no disrespect. My best friend growing up was a Pakistani, but you got a Pakistani owner.
Yep.
You got a Pakistani owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, but Jay-Z, Diddy, Bob Johnson, Master P, all these people, They can't get jobs because the good old boys club and they keeping us out. But across every industry, it's like that. That's why we got to keep on dealing, with these issues. Now, do you think this is going to set a precedent, Sam, man? Do you think that this is going to actually change anything, in your opinion?
I do, and I don't know how much change we're going to see. But back in 2003, when the Rooney Rule was implemented, and we kind of knew that they were going to get this backdoor bullshit to kind of keep the political lines in place and just to keep motherfuckers happy and quiet for a little while. We're going to interview you, but we know while we interview you, we're just going to do a quote, put a quote in there or whatever, and get you the fuck out of there and interview or hire, who we want to hire. But back then they were saying, okay, this is step one, but step two is going to be another lawsuit that's going to have to drop down on the NFL, because before the Rooney Rule was in place, there was a pending lawsuit with black coaches and black coordinators and things against the NFL because of inequality and things like that before the hiring process. That's why the Rooney Rule was put in place, and now there's another lawsuit impending, and this is what was going to need to garner real, genuine change. Brian Flores put himself on a sword. He's up for 2 interviews, I believe, with the New Orleans Saints and Houston Texans. I think we could pretty much guarantee he ain't getting in them shits, because once the owners talk, and I'm sure they're talking like crazy right now, he ain't coming in the league anymore. Blackball. But hopefully him laying on the sword can have one or more than one black coach in the NFL come next year. Mike Tomlin, the only one, never had a losing record in 2019, was sitting on the hot seat of the Pittsburgh Steelers after never having a losing season, Super Bowl appearances, and Super Bowl titles. So we see what's clear and what's going on in the NFL. It's clear intimidation when you talk about 70% of the league being African-American, being black. The quarterbacks now taking over the league, a lot of them are black. The primary stars are black. You mean to tell me we can't jump into these coordinator roles where you see a lot of the coaches that came from the NFL playing field jump into the coaches league, that none of those NFL stars being black can jump into?
Right.
It's absolute nonsense.
So either it's like this, Sam, man. Either we're not qualified,
bullshit,
or some type of conspiracy to keep us out. It's either one or two things, like, what I mean. But now you put it great, man. I think I'm hoping, and I said this yesterday, that it should be something in place where, and this, I don't know if the NFL will ever do this, but like 25% of the teams or something. I don't know, 30%. 1/4, of the team's got to have a black head coach, because I can see it's not like we're saying, we want to be in this position just to be in it because we black. It's no, because we black and qualified. Right, ain't because we put us here. Nah, we earning, these people are earning this position, but they're not being moved up. That's the issue with the whole situation. So that's all we want to see, man. That's and I think we see that it's a lot of capable ones out there that keep being relegated to a assistant head coach, or a ball boy, or a quarterback coach. We want to see them move up. We don't want to see them put in positions where they're destined to fail, which often happens, or they start to build the team up like Miami, like Flores did, and now somebody else is going to come in and reap the benefits and get all the praise from something that he built. But let's deal with this, Sam, man. Let's deal with the fix part real quick. And the fact, This to me what blew the whole thing up. When we found out that it's confirmed that you got teams that are actually tanking and paying coaches and probably players and maybe officials to tank. How do you feel about the tanking thing?
I heard back in the day, and I can't remember where, that there's about 5% of the league, usually the 5% that's genuinely or usually bad. You got your teams that are usually pretty shitty.
Right.
And they're pretty shitty for a reason, because they got something going on between the owners and the NFL to where if they tank, they'll get some money in their pocket to keep certain teams in certain places. That's what I heard. Nobody can confirm it. But today, when Brian Flores came out and said for draft position, for certain things here, for certain things there, and who knows how deep that really runs within the NFL. Is it just a Miami Dolphins thing? Is it something that's a coalition between all NFL owners? How much involved is the NFL, period? Like you said, now we talk about players, not to say that anything was going on, because I believe the players put their blood, sweat, and tears into this game, working their ass off their entire life, and I don't think the game on the field is fixed. But let me play the other side real quick. When you look at a Patrick Mahomes that was completely locked in the first half, looking like he's about to blow the Bengals smooth out the water, and then the last play of the fourth quarter, he fumbles the ball prior to the field goal, looking like he was ready to give it up to the Bengals. That would have ended the game. And then the very next player to play after, in overtime, you throw an interception. It was a great play by the defense, but you throw an interception. Right. It was very strange, and I'm not mad at the argument.
And he hadn't thrown it to, not to add fuel into the conspiracy thing, weird, but he hadn't thrown him like all that second half. Now you throw him between double coverage to this dude. It's crazy. Like that fumble, like you talking about people talking about him being the heir apparent to Tom Brady. Tom Brady's not going to make a mistake like that. He's going to throw it away. This dude ran back like 20-something yards and scrambled and fumbled the football. I don't know, man. I just know that every time I see an NFL put a post up, about the game, people are saying this is fixed. And to me, where there's smoke, there's fire. Like it got to be something behind, and this confirms it. And they ain't talking about, and I've seen it. I've seen it with with the Eagles last year. We see it all the time. Teams tank. I don't agree with it. Like how the hell you pull out Jalen Hurts to put Nate Sudfeld in? You know what I mean? Like that's crazy as hell. But you see it all the time. That's not extreme as what the Miami Dolphins did, but essentially it's the same thing. You trying to tank to get a draft pick. I wouldn't want to be a part of an organization like that. We trying to win every game. I don't give a damn if we was 1-16. Like we want to knock these motherfuckers off in this last game.
This is going to set a fire blaze because he's not the only coach this happened to. And I see Hugh Jackson, remember the old coach for the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah.
He was saying something close to that too. He was like, listen, it was a lot of happy owners around here when we were losing all them years with me. I was like,
what?
Oh, yeah, bro. This shit's about to get crazy. This shit's about to get crazy.
Wow.
The
and
NFL
then we go down to the quarterbacks, and to the player. We can go all the way down with this thing, man. But I'm really interested to see. I haven't heard really anybody like. I thought Stephen A. Smith was going to kind of dance on this, but from what I hear, he stayed pretty firm.
He did.
Okay, cool.
He did.
And I salute him for stuff like that.
You know what? I disagreed with some of his notion, but I understood it. But all in all, you can disagree with a brother, but know he's coming from the right spot.
Yeah.
And he came out and said he applauds Brian Flores. He's rooting for Brian Flores. He salutes him for doing exactly what he's doing. He said his only worry was exposing those text messages to Bill Belichick the way he did. You're going to get some owners scared to communicate with black coordinators or coaches in general because of that. I'm like,
come on,
fuck
man.
all that.
Yeah, forget all that.
He played that a little bit, but as a whole, he did his thing, and I ain't gonna dog him today.
Right. Yeah, we ain't gonna definitely do that. I wanted to kind of go on that a little bit. Like, come on, are you serious, Stephen A. Smith?
That card kind of got me.
Yeah, but nah, as long as he stays firm, we'll leave it alone, man.
Yeah, man. But this shit it's not going anywhere. Like I said, hopefully it invokes some change. We got 70% of the NFL black. And I don't even know what kind of percentage. It's 1 out of 32 NFL coaches that is black in the NFL. Something has
Start your own league. That sounds too much like that's too hard, huh?
It's way too hard. It's kind of that is kind of like me saying, please, players boycott. That shit ain't never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Hopefully Jay-Z or somebody will start a league or something. Diddy.
We'll see. We're gonna need some of them NFL stars and some of them people to slide on over there though.
Oh, for sure.
We're gonna need it.
For sure.
The extra fellas in a heartbeat, but. The NFL and football is the greatest sport there is, period, in my opinion. I love it.
Oh, yeah,
I love the team aspect. I love sitting there and watching the Super Bowl and playoffs and talking shit with your boys and shit like that. But there's things behind the scenes that has to be done, and a stand has to be taken if we're ever going to be taken seriously out here, man. And there's a good opportunity for that to happen. We'll see what it does.
Yeah, definitely, man. A lot of people actually stopped watching it at Colin Kaepernick. I know they got a lot of the viewership back, but some people didn't like that. And this is just another thing. But I'm interested to see in closing, man, if the players, could you see them on Twitter, you see them going in, their support, are they going to really jump up, and do anything, or what could they do? You know what I mean? I think it just should be like, it was this movie, I can't remember the name, man. It's on Netflix, and it's about like this college, like the top college recruit, and he pretty much was exposing, similar stuff, like how they was trying to get him to play injured and things. And he talked about the revenue, and he actually showed, one of the coaches had like 3 homes and all that, and how his friend right here is struggling to eat, and just the disparity of all the money they're making and not passing it down, trickling it down to the team. And he got like a lot of people behind him. Like they was gonna play a national championship game, and he got like maybe like 10 or 12 or more players. The list was growing. Like people was going to sit out the game and boycott the game. So this is the type of thing you got to get numbers.
That's what we need,
I think behind, but I don't think it's going to happen, man. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong, but I think the players are too comfortable, and they're just going to just do the Twitter fingers and not do anything.
We'll see, man. We'll see, man. But salute to Brian Flores, laying himself on the lot, laying on the sword for his beliefs and his morals, man, and hopefully it invokes change.
Yes, sir. Another episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast is in the books. No matter where you see this, man, if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, man, share the video, like the video, engage the video, leave a comment. We definitely appreciate that all the time. And make sure you subscribe and come back for more uncensored content like we always putting out here on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. That's your brother Sam Man from Viral Hip Hop News. I'm your brother O God from Hip Hop News Uncensored. Together we are the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Over